Hey guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guy. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see here, I have a review of the Staedtler Super Soft Coloured Pencils. This is the 24 set. Now, for other information such as price and things like that, that will all be over on the written review, for which there will be a link down below in the description box, which you can go over and read on the Art Gear Guide website. Listen, I know people say to me, don't apologise for this, that and the other thing, Harry, but it's just, it's kind of like the way I was brought up. I feel like if I say I'm going to do something, I should do it. And if I don't do it, I need to explain why I haven't done it. And, I said I would do this year, start this year off, trying my best to get more content out, certainly more reliable and much more scheduled. But I just haven't been able to do that the first couple of months here. So I apologise for that. Hopefully going forward, I'll be able to get things sorted out and become a lot more consistent with the reviews. On with this review today. So as you can see here, this is the Staedtler 24 set of the Supercolor Soft Coloured Pencils. Now this is again part of their Design Journey range. I've done a few reviews of their Design Journey range, and so far I've been really impressed with the products that are in this particular Design Journey range. I did a review of the 72 set of colour pencils. They have tinted graphite pencils, water soluble pencils, which I've done a review of as well. I've also done a review of their water soluble crayons. And I have a couple of other things left to review, such as their pastel pencils, metallic pencils, and watercolour pencils. But if you want to take a look at the other reviews that I've done, I'll have links for those down below as well. So when I seen this super soft colour pencils, I thought to myself, right, okay, we've kind of seen and heard this type of thing before. One thing I have noticed in the 10 years of doing reviews is the fact that almost 80 to 90% of the time when people contact me and ask me questions about coloured pencils, 80 or 90% of the time they're asking me for a cheaper alternative to Prismacolor. They love the softness of the Prismacolor, but they don't have the money, or availability is an issue as well, because in certain countries Prismacolor aren't that readily available. Here in the UK we can get them, but it's not always easy. And I know obviously in the US they're kind of like the staple diet for everybody, all artists, kids and things like that there when they're going to school. Artists that I've spoken to, they seem to be the pencil that they were given when they were kids going out to school. So I'm always on the lookout for a cheaper alternative to Prismacolor. And when I seen these, I thought, alright, okay, here we go. Another pencil that people could look at and think this is a Prismacolor alternative. Well, what I can say is they're not exactly Prismacolor soft, but they are soft. A lot softer than what I was expecting them to be. But also as well, their vibrancy and things like that, which I will get into and I'm going to show you now. And actually the artwork that I did with these, I was really impressed with the outcome of the artwork, but we'll get into that in a second. So as you can see here along the tin, it's got all the Design Journey features that you would see on any of the other Design Journey range products. Let you know what it is up at the top here. Top right hand corner gives you like an iconography of the barrel shape, because I know some people don't like hexagonal, some people prefer round barrels, that type of thing. So it gives you an indication of what that is up at the top. Down at the bottom here as well, there's a little legend, a little swatch if you like, of the colours that are available in that 24 set. Now it's always worth me, I know you probably all know this by now, but it's always worth noting that this is just like a quick glance indication of the colours, because these colours that are on the tin are laser printed onto the tins, and so it's completely different ink and all the rest of it. They're not exactly the same as the colours that you'll get, and I'll show you that. On the back of the tin, just the usual stuff. There's a lot of different languages here. It just gives you a little bit of information about the pencils. High quality colour pencil, super soft lead, given particularly high coverage for amazing bright colours on both white and black paper. Wood from certified sustainable managed forests. Importer UK, Staedtler UK, and then it just goes on to the address. They mentioned there about black paper, and as you can see here on the image on the front of the tin, it shows you artwork done on black and white paper. I will get into this in just a second as well. Okay, so on opening the tin, you can see all the colours, all the pencils set out in the set here. As you can see, the pencils themselves have like a matte black barrel. It is hexagonal. If we just take a look at the characteristics of the pencil in general, so the core of the pencil is 3.2. It's quite a slim line pencil. The barrel is 6.9 millimeters. But like I say, you know, it is a hexagonal barrel as well. On one side of the barrel we have made in Germany. Staedtler is obviously a German brand. Then we have the Staedtler logo and name. This is all printed on like it's a silver metallic. And then on the end of the barrel here we have Super Soft, obviously just the brand of the pencil. On the very end of every barrel there is a colour ID cap. So the ends of the barrels are capped, and they are dipped in the colour of the actual pencil, the colour that you're going to be using. On the opposite side of the barrel we have some just barcode information, and then an alphanumeric number here which corresponds to the colour of the pencil. The pencil itself actually feels quite nice in the hand. I'm not a big fan of hexagonal pencils. They don't, you know, I prefer round pencils. They just seem to sit in my hand better, but I'm not going to get too bent out of shape if I have a hexagonal pencil. It's just like a preference. I prefer round pencils. But the weight of the pencil, it's well balanced, it's well weighted, and you can tell that the wood that they've used in these pencils is decent quality wood. And you can tell that because when you sharpen the pencils, now I've sharpened these pencils using, let me just show you, I've just sharpened them using my little handheld, my little M&R handheld sharpener. This is one of the best sharpeners you can get. You can buy spare blades for it and stuff like that. I'll have a link for that down below. This is the sharpener I go to all the time, and I have a Caran d'Ache hand crank sharpener, which is now basically an ornament on my in my studio. But having said that, if I have a problem with a pencil and it's not sharpening right, or the core is not centered and it's not sharpening right, the Caran d'Ache sharpener always sorts it out. I don't know why or how that is, but it just does. Okay, so you can see it here on the camera, but I'll have an image popping up on the screen. And also as well, if you go over to the written review, all of the images that you see here on the camera, you'll see them over on the written review as well, and you will be able to click on whatever image you want. It will automatically enlarge, and then you can inspect it in your own time. You don't have to pause anything. You can just look at it in your own time, zoom in, zoom out, that type of thing, which I find very, very helpful for the artwork, because when you want to view artwork, and bearing in mind the artwork that I do in these reviews is for demonstration purposes only, you get to see what the artwork really looks like close up. So how the pencils layer, that type of thing, because you can see that better close up, and that also corresponds to the paper that I used. So for this particular swatch, I've used the Strathmore 300 series Bristol vellum paper, an absolutely beautiful paper, nice little bit of texture, not too smooth, not too textured. I find it really nice for colour pencils. So as you can see here in the 24 colours, it's a pretty standard selection for most 24 sets. You know, you've got a nice array of yellows, oranges, like magentas, pinks, reds, coming into purples, and then blues, greens, and the earth tones down at the bottom are obviously minimal because we're talking about a 24 set. So we've got like almost looks like a yellow ochre, burnt sienna, a raw umber, a cool grey, and then the black. As far as 24 sets go, this is a really nice selection, and it's a good selection in terms of mixing as well, because it's got cool and warm tones in the different colour families. So whenever I do reviews of colour pencils, if you're new here, I always try to do a little bit of a test first of all before we get into the artwork, so I'm going to show you that now. So as you can see here, this is a layer test. On as you're looking at it, on the left hand side we've got this layer test. Then we've got a little bit of a blending test here, and then down at the bottom here I've got this sphere, which I'm going to use odourless mineral spirits on. I personally don't use odourless mineral spirits, but I know there are a lot of people that do, and so I always incorporate this into my reviews. But as you can see here, the reason why I always stick to showing you what 5 layers looks like and then a heavy application is because for those people that use odourless mineral spirits, it is considered by the colour pencil artists within the community that before you start using your odourless mineral spirits, you need to have approximately 5 layers, 5 light layers down on the paper before you start using the odourless mineral spirits. If you just put down a single light layer and then use your odourless mineral spirits, it's not really going to accomplish anything. But if you have like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 light layers of colour pencil down, and then you apply your odourless mineral spirits, you're going to see a much more beneficial result. So each, and I've just done it with the 4 usual colours, yellow, red, blue and green. But each layer is a light layer, a single light layer applied on top of each other. So this is 5 light layers, and then this is a heavy application. And you get to see the contrast between the layers and then the really hard, heavy application. But you can see here that the vibrancy in the pencils is really nice. And don't forget as well, guys, I'm talking here when I'm talking about this set and I'm talking about their ability, I'm also considering the price, which again I will have over in the written review. I never talk about the prices in these videos because if you watch this video or somebody watches this video in 3 years time, the price could be anything and I can't change it. If I talk about the price on the video, that's it, it's out there forever. So the next test here that I'm showing you is the blending test. Now again, this just shows you, gives you an idea as to how well these pencils will blend. And as you can see here with the red and yellow, it's accomplished a really nice orange. Blue and yellow, a really nice green as well, so really happy there. And this one here, the red and blue mixing with colour pencils to get a purple is always hit and miss. But I think with this set here, I think it's done a really decent job at obtaining that purple. So really happy with that. But all in all, mixed really well, blended really well, and happy with the blending. Don't forget this is on Bristol vellum paper. So next up we have this odourless mineral spirits test, which I'm going to show you now. Don't forget, so this sphere here has got goodness knows how many layers. So I've built up the layers using the blues that are in the set and the black pencil as well to get the darkest tone down at the bottom here. So we'll get into this test now. You'll get to see it in live time. Another thing that I want to talk about is I know that a lot of colour pencil artists have arthritis in their wrists or their hands or something like that, and so for people that suffer with pain in their hands and their wrists, they're always trying to look for a pencil that isn't going to take, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it in order to get a vibrant colour. And so I'm always vigilant about trying to consider that whenever I'm doing my demonstrations and doing my reviews. And for this particular set, I would say this is a good, cheap alternative set for if you have issues with your hands. You're not going to need to apply heavy pressure with these pencils in order to get good vibrancy from the pencils. So I've got my Zesta odourless mineral spirits here. I definitely need to get a new bottle of this because it's not looking the greatest. Now, like I said at the beginning, I personally don't use odourless mineral spirits. Whenever I'm doing, let me just zoom in a little bit here so you can see this. Okay. Whenever I am like blending or anything like that, I will use a colourless blender from like a pencil colourless blender, which I've done a review on different types of blenders. If you're interested in that, that's my preferred method of doing it. With odourless mineral spirits, I'm not very good at using it. I don't seem to be able to get the effects that other people can get with it, which is, that's just a personal thing. And because I don't get the effects that I'm looking for, I tend not to use it. But there are huge benefits to using odourless mineral spirits, and they are, so whenever you are layering and you're applying your layers, no matter how light they are, eventually you're going to you're going to cover in the tooth of the paper, which is going to then create resistance for more layers. But when you use odourless mineral spirits, you're basically breaking that pigment down, that hard solid pigment that you've just rubbed over the paper and pushed into the hills and valleys of the paper, the tooth of the paper. You're essentially filling that in and then causing problems for layering, additional layers. The odourless mineral spirits breaks it down into kind of like a liquid form, a painterly form. I hear people use the term, and so that rejuvenates the tooth of the paper, and it allows you then to come back in with your pencils and continue layering. Now that process can be done numerous times. Obviously you will get to a point where even when you're using odourless mineral spirits, the tooth of the paper is just completely filled in. But it does allow you to layer up lots and lots of times, which in turn provides you with really good, rich colour and depth to your artwork if you do it properly and you know how to do it. There are lots and lots of artists, colour pencil artists out there that will show you how to use odourless mineral spirits correctly. But for me, this is just showing you how the pigment of this particular product breaks down under odourless mineral spirits. And I would say there that given I wouldn't consider myself an expert with using odourless mineral spirits, I would say there that certainly the actual pigment has broke down really, really nicely, and I can see the tooth of the paper. So what I would ordinarily do in this situation is come back in and do exactly what I've done here the first time with layers, additional layers, and then that would just completely enrich this particular drawing and provide you with even better effects. Okay, so next up here you can see this test on black paper. This is just some black paper from Castle Arts, I think it's from. But you can see here, this is just a single heavy application of some colours from the set. But you can see there This is the yellow, the red, the blue, the green, and then the white. And you can see how the colours look. They're very opaque. Every time I do this test, this isn't a test to say whether the pencils are good or bad, don't forget. This is a test to show you as an artist. There are some artists that prefer more opaque pencils, and there are some artists that prefer more translucent colours, which aids them in their layering and that type of thing. So like Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils are quite translucent. They're not very opaque pencils. This test just shows you kind of like where the pencils are. Sometimes in a set you'll get a mixture translucent and opaque, but with this particular set, and when I say sometimes you'll get translucent and opaque, I'm talking about in this simple test, just where there's like 5 colours. But this with this set, all of these colours are quite opaque. So I'll just, while I'm on the camera here, I'll just add, this is kind of like a peachy orange. So and there you go, you can see there how nice and rich and opaque that is. There's like a pinky colour here. Another opaque colour. And if you're new to colour pencils and you don't understand the term translucent and opaque, basically all it means is, so if this was a more translucent layer, you would see a lot of the black through here. With the white is actually quite opaque given white colour pencils that we have in various different sets, but you can see a little bit of the black paper through it. And so that's what we mean when we're talking about translucency or opaqueness. For anybody that likes or that enjoys doing artwork on black paper, these pencils are phenomenal. In fact, actually, I think out of all the pencils I've tested, the Staedtler Super Soft colour pencils are among some of the best when it comes to dark paper. I would even go as far as to say that they are better than the Faber-Castell black set, which these would kind of like be, a lot of people would compare these to that particular set, and I'll do a proper comparison video later on about these, so I don't want to give my opinion on it just yet. But there you can see there what these pencils are like on black paper. Really, really nice, really good, rich, vibrant, opaque colours. And finally, we have the artwork that I've done. I just done these orange lilies here, and I just thought, when I was doing it, I actually almost stopped to do something else. I just didn't think I was getting, certainly where the greens were concerned, I didn't think I was getting the right tonal values and things like that there with the greens. But I kind of like got that feeling when it was down around here, and then I thought, no, I'm going to push on here because this isn't, I need to do much more before I stop. Now, incidentally, by the way, the paper that I used for this was Saunders Waterford hot pressed paper, and this is in a block. Now, I've got to be honest. This is the first time that I've used, whenever it comes to doing the artwork and doing it on decent quality paper, this is the first time that I've ever used Saunders Waterford. Now, I use Saunders Waterford a lot for watercolour paintings. But this is the first time, and I don't know why, but it just is. It's the first time that I've done it. Used this paper for coloured pencil. Ordinarily, I would use Fabriano Artistico or the Derwent Lightfast paper if I'm going to do a piece with just coloured pencils. I was staggered at how well this paper was for this colour pencil drawing. You can see yourself there, and because the paper is hot pressed, so it has a lot more tooth and texture than a vellum paper, I was obviously able to layer more, which give me that these deep rich colours that you can see on these orange lilies. But I was really impressed with how well this paper reacted with colour pencils. And I know that might sound like a silly thing to say because it's Saunders Waterford. They are an incredible St Cuthbert's Mill paper is always high quality. But just for some reason I'd never thought of using it for any colour pencil artwork, and I'm an idiot because I really enjoyed this process. But here you can see, so this is another example of, can you do artwork with inexpensive pencils, with pencils that are not artist quality pencils, or pencils that are not, right up there with the very best pencils. And in my opinion, the answer is yes, you can. You can create anything you want with cheaper, more budget line pencils, providing you're using decent paper. Now, if I were to try and do this particular drawing here on, say, printer paper, ordinary printer cartridge paper, I should imagine that the results would be incredibly different. I wouldn't be able to layer for a start, and I wouldn't get these deep rich colours that I got. The quality of the paper that you use will transform the cheap alternative budget range pencils that you may only be able to afford, but the paper will transform them into something else completely. Okay, so this is kind of like my final wrap up here of these pencils. It goes without saying that they are not light fast. They are from Staedtler's Design Journey range. They are aimed towards kind of like kids, not even kids, like teenagers, young artists just getting started. That kind of range. They're not high quality artist quality pencils because they're inexpensive. They're marketed towards a particular group of artists that can't afford those high-end pencils, artists that are just coming into the colour pencil world and things like that. These are a great way to get started, and the reason why I say they're such a good way to get started is because if you are considering getting into any medium and somebody hands you that particular medium, in this case colour pencils, and these pencils are, say the pencils are rubbish, there's no colour from them, they're washed out, the leads are breaking all the time, things like that, and you give them terrible paper as well, they're not going to want to come back to that medium. They will have had a really bad experience. However, if you hand somebody, whether it be your teenager or somebody like that who's at school thinking of taking art, or somebody that just wants to get into colour pencils but they don't want to go out and spend a lot of money on high-end light fast pencils just yet because they want to test the medium first, pencils like this, sets like this, are an excellent entry into that world. With the Staedtler Super Soft coloured pencils, when I was using them, I was thinking to myself, these would be a fantastic set of pencils for people that love doing adult colouring books. I think these pencils would work really well in that particular arena. Also as well, teenagers, young people that are at school doing art, wanting to do nice artwork with them. Again, these pencils would be brilliant. Any artist that enjoys doing artwork on dark paper, this is some of the best pencils I've ever used on dark pencil are these Staedtler Super Soft. I mean, they really do shine on black paper, and so there's a lot of different people there that these pencils would be really good for. Don't forget, check out the price over on the written review, and I will have links down below for all the other reviews that I've done from the Staedtler Design Journey range. And that's it, guys. So if you've enjoyed this video, if this video has been helpful to you in any way, shape or form, please hit that like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe as well. I do lots of giveaways here on the channel, and everything I do on the channel is free. When I do giveaways, you don't have to pay for anything, none of that stuff. If you're watching this video before the 28th of February, I actually have a giveaway on the go at the minute, and I will be announcing the winner on the 20th of February. So just in case, I'll have a link for that video down below. You can go across and take part in that. All you got to do is watch a video, listen to the rules, of which there are none really. All you've got to do is leave a comment. Hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel really helps me out a lot, and I never really understood how much you guys leaving comments, you guys hitting the like button, and people subscribing helps the channel out. Because what it does is it shows YouTube that the channel is being watched and that the videos are being watched, and so YouTube will kind of like push it out to more people because they can see that it is being there's activity on the videos. But most importantly is you guys leaving comments in the comment section down below and getting some sort of dialogue going. I love this community. I love the art community, and in particular the colour pencil community. And I like to think that in the 10 years that I've been doing the Art Gear Guide, we have started our own kind of like little community over here as well. Because one thing I've realised is that 99.9% of the time, people can leave comments in the comment section and there's not going to be some vicious reaction to anybody. I wouldn't stand for that type of thing in any case. Everybody can say what they want and there's not going to be any retribution fired against them. So leaving comments in the comment section is the bread and butter of this channel. I think that the comments that are left under these videos that I do is what makes the videos important. And it's what gives the videos their what's the word I'm looking for? Their validity. If you've used the Staedtler Super Soft Colored Pencils, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the pencils, or if you maybe have been thinking about buying them but you hadn't got round to it, you hadn't seen any reviews on them or anything like that. Again, let me know in the comment section what your views are now, and if you've used any of the Design Journey range from Staedtler, let me know in the comments section and let's get some sort of dialogue going. Anyway guys, thank you so much for all your patience, all your support, all your wonderful comments. I've been getting so many really wonderful comments in the comment section of different videos and what have you. People saying that they find so much value in these videos, which just, I cannot tell you how much that warms my heart, that in some small way I am able to help people. I love being able to help people. I loved being able to help people when I was a soldier, and I know the help that I am trying to provide now, in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of life, it is minuscule, but even that tiny little part, if I can help people make good decisions on products that they want to buy that are going to be good for them as an individual, and hopefully save people a little bit of money, or on the flip side of that, ensure that people are making good decisions on the products that they're buying so they're not wasting their money, then that makes me feel so good. Anyway guys, thanks very much. I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. And just before I go as well, I have a speed drawing of this if you're interested. That'll be linked down below as well. Bye.